I know 2026 barely started, but am I wrong to say that fight that we just watched right now for the UFC 324 main event between Paddy Pimblett, and the winner by unanimous decision, Justin Gaethje, might have just been the fight of the year? The fight, one of the best fights of the goddamn 2025 and 2024. First off, dude, shout out to Paddy Pimblett, the Scouser, for not getting knocked out and having an absolutely ridiculous chin. He got bombed on for the majority of that fight. I gave Paddy Pimblett one round, and for the rest of the fight was pretty much getting beat down. It seemed like the legs were under him. His game plan going into the fight, having his hands to the side, not keeping them right up to his chin, was just having his chin up in the air, allowed Justin Gaethje to keep on hitting him with huge right hands, dropped them dozens of times, and now sets himself up for the UFC White House card. In my opinion, the question is, who is it going to be against? Is it going to be against Arman Tsutsukian? Is it going to be against Poirier and his return? My goodness, my people, a main event to remember, a main event to pop off the year of Paramount Plus. There had to be fight of the night. Fight of the night goes to Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. No more $50,000 bonus, $100,000 bonus. All right. Now the co-main event, it's exactly what we expected, but I thought it was going to be a little bit cleaner. Yes, it was a close fight. Some people thought Song Yadong won that fight. I'll be honest with you guys. I thought Suga Sean O'Malley barely, you could have gave it to either fighter, but I thought he won round one. I thought round two, for sure Song Yadong won that round. I thought Song Yadong won it. Then you go to round three, Suga Sean O'Malley completely became a different fighter in that round and started fighting like how he normally does. The first two rounds, he was looking fidgety. He was looking weird. Honestly, it looked like there was a little bit of rust behind him. I think the power of Song Yadong was also a factor. I think it was keeping Suga Sean O'Malley from doing the combos that he wanted to do. Step in the pocket and trade with him. Every single time he was trading with Song Yadong, he was getting hit with big punches. The third round, he really adjusted to the distance, the footwork, and started to piece up Song Yadong, making him absolutely bloody. And I think that third round really sealed it for Suga Sean O'Malley. I thought he won the fight 2 rounds to 1. Absolutely great fight, though. And what about Waldo Corteza Costa fighting for the 6th time in 1 year, doing what he just did to Derek Lewis? Hey, man, I'm going to tell you like this. Derek Lewis is just too old, man. Those knees, the knees look like they're going inwards. His little, that little right knee, it looks like it's going inwards. He got tired. He didn't even get dropped with a single punch. He was off balance, fell down. It looked like he just gave up. Waldo Cortez doesn't even struggle of getting in on top of him, stepping right to the side of him and just doing ground and pound. Derek Lewis just let him. I think Derek Lewis gassed out, man. And now has lost himself an opportunity, I think, in fighting at the UFC White House card. We're still going to see, because we all know that's Donald Trump's favorite fighter. But Waldo Cortez Acosta, my goodness, bro. What do you give this guy next, huh? Who do you give him next? I say you give him, at this point, the winner of the Sorrel Gone versus Tom Aspinall fight, if Tom Aspinall ends up recovering to defend his title. If not, strip him and give the title shot to Waldo Cortez against Sorrel Gone. I don't care anymore. Then Natalia Silva came out here against Thug Rose, and honestly, in my opinion, just put it on her. I think that third round, the superiority of her boxing, fighting from the outside, throwing more volume at her, and then you had Thug Rose trying to implement her wrestling. It didn't work. You had Natalia Silva use a little hip toss that threw Thug Rose on the floor. She ended up on top to finish that third round. I thought it was 1-1 going in that third round. I think that won her the fight. Good win for Natalia Silva. But what about Jane Silva and Arnold Allen? You guys, I literally shot the whole prelim post-reaction video about an hour, about 2 hours right about 2 hours ago, right when the main card started. So I'm going to play that for you guys right now, right after I'm done talking about Gene Silva and Arnold Allen. What a fight! Arnold Allen, in my opinion, won round one. I thought he came out. I thought he was looking fantastic. I think it took a little while for Gene Silva to really find his distance, to really get his feet under him. Round two came. He started to look a little bit better. Striking was, competing with Arnold Allen. I thought he did enough to win that round. And round three, Gene Silva completely took over. His striking, his distance, his footwork, his IQ just took over Arnold Allen. Allen looked like he started to get tired from all the movement that he was using, moving and moving around the ring. Gene Silva once again proved, coming off the UFC Noche San Antonio, Texas, lost to Diego Lopez, who's now competing this Saturday, coming up, UFC 325, back-to-back against Alexander Volkanovski. It's a great win for Gene Silva. Now the question is, who's next for Gene Silva? Do you make this exciting? Do you give him either Mosvar Evalov or Lerone Murphy next? Or do you set up a fight night card and make him step into the cage with Steve Garcia in an all-out, goddamn, ballistic, explosive, garnafal, whatever you want to call it, war? Imagine New Mexico, Albuquerque, Steve Garcia versus Gene Silva. Lord, my goodness, my friends. What an absolutely amazing UFC card we had. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want to watch the rest of my reactions, check them out. But I'm out, my friends. What's going on, my MMA Boxing Addicts family? This is my post. What's going on, my family? What's going on, my MMA Boxing Addicts family? We are currently watching UFC 324 right now. The first... Wow. What's going on, my MMA Boxing Addicts family? We're literally watching UFC 324 right now. This is going to be my post-fight reaction to the whole card entirely. So far, 3 fights have went down, and I want to talk about it, my friends. Our first prediction of the night was Ty Miller to win by KO. And what did he just do right now to Adam Fugit? Moves on to 7-0 with a ridiculous boxing style. And I said, Adam Fugit really needed to go that leg. To me, he didn't utilize it as much. He needed to use the wrestling, first of all. There was no way he was going to be able to strike with Ty Miller. But I thought the leg kicks, going up against a striker, a boxer like Ty Miller, he had to use them. But we did see in Ty Miller's Dana White Contender Series fight that he could take a leg kick. He was kicked in the leg a bunch of times. So what amazing debut. First fight of the Paramount Plus card to come in there with just the cleanest boxing in the world. 1-2s, beautiful jab, big, honestly, big for the welterweight division. And when you think about the guys that beat Adam Fugit, Michael Morales, it took Michael Morales 3 rounds. Mike Mallet, it took him 2. Ty Miller just got it done in the first round, my friends. Beautiful 1-2, finishes him. Absolutely amazing performance from Ty Miller, coming from a boxing background, Golden Glove champion. What a debut. Now, I want to talk about the co-main event. Josh Hokit, we predicted it as well. He is the lock of the week and involved in 2 of our parlays going down tonight in UFC 324 mixed with a little bit of boxing. But my goodness, my friends, we knew Josh Hokit was going to be way better than Denzel Freeman, to the point where we even giving predictions talking about him winning in the first round, the odds that they had, the second and the third. For sure, we knew he was going to win that fight. Josh Hokit went in there, absolutely destroyed Denzel Freeman. Denzel Freeman was all over the place. Honestly, was not ready for the pressure that Josh Hokit put on him. This pressure was different. Josh Hokit was nonstop all over this kid, shooting double legs, taking him down. As soon as he got, he was, controlling his back. As soon as he got up, he was striking with him, just nonstop striking uppercuts, 1-2s, overhands. Not the cleanest, it didn't look like he had the most power, but just the volume of punches is what completely got it, man, my friends. And we knew he was going to win that fight, my people. And honestly, way to back it up, Josh Hokit. Now, As some people might say, the stoppage could have been whatever, but at the end of the day, he was beating the crap out of Denzel Freeman. He was beating him up, taking him down. The volume was way too much for Freeman. Freeman didn't expect it, and neither did I. This volume was ridiculous. Marab Dwalashili type volume, but in the heavyweight division. He takes Denzel Freeman down, is controlling his back. Every time Freeman gets up, if he didn't decide to take him back down, he was just bombing on him with 1, 2s, and 3s. Right hooks, uppercuts, left hands. Freeman didn't know what to do. Elbows, knees to the body. Josh Hokit showed us everything that he had in the bag right there, my friends, and that was an amazing performance. And what about the call out? He says Waldo Corteza Costa is a deadbeat dad. A deadbeat dad, because I don't know what the entire situation is. If I understand he has 9 kids. Now, I don't think Waldo Cortez Acosta is there for his 9 kids. I think they're back in his home country with his ex-girl. So I'm not getting involved in that. But he did call him a deadbeat dad. And that's crazy to say to somebody who, is fighting to bring their family to him in this country. Now, at the end of the day, it is what it is. He says Brittany Griner, whatever. I don't want to even say it and get this goddamn video blocked. But my goodness, flagged. But my goodness, my people, Josh Hokit won in style once again. First round KO, amazing. Now we move on to the third fight of the UFC 324 Paramount card. Alex Perez, to me, to be honest, shocked us, man. I thought Charles Johnson was going to go in there, especially after watching Alex Perez miss weight. He had to give up 25% of his money to Charles Johnson. Miss weight, step into the scale on the early morning weigh-in show. If you didn't watch it, he looked horrible. He looked so bad. I was like, whoa. I don't know if he was just doing that on purpose, because Alex Perez, like I explained in my prediction video, is one of the most unreliable fighters. This is a guy who has had so many canceled fights. Whether it's his fault or not, he's already missed weight many times. So he comes in here, misses weight again, is literally fighting for his career. Is 1-5 in his last 6 fights. Came in here against Charles Johnson as the underdog, looked horrible, but got it done. Oh my goodness, my people. Hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Alex Perez continues to stay alive in this flyweight division, the number 11 ranked fighter in the UFC rankings. Now, it's going to be interesting to see who's next. When you look at everybody else in the rankings, a lot of people are booked already, my people. Everybody's almost booked, so it's going to be interesting, my people. But let's go watch the next fight and move on. Oh, my goodness. With 3 seconds left in the 3rd round. What a fight. Nikita Krillov coming off back-to-back knockout losses to Bogdan Guskov and Dominic Reyes, who, honestly, I didn't expect to look that good in the striking. Oh my goodness, are you kidding? Oh my goodness, with 3 seconds round, are you... Oh my goodness! With 3 seconds left in the 3rd round, Nikita Krillov just knocked out Modestas Bukauskas with a big 1-2, obliterates him. And I'm telling you right now, man, a guy who's coming off back-to-back losses against Bogdan Guskov and Dominic Reyes, a guy who was known for running into punches, honestly, just came in here and beat Modestas Bukauskas, who was, on a 4-5 fight win streak in the UFC, who has been looking good in the striking department. Krillov just came in here and outclassed him in his own goddamn game. He outstruck him from the outside. Beautiful leg kicks, beautiful 1-2s. He out-grappled him. There was times where he would hold him up against the cage. Bukauskas wasn't really doing nothing to get off. You can tell he was getting controlled. I thought Bukauskas got absolutely exposed when it came to his striking. But my goodness, Krillov, way to come in here and prove the world wrong. And, you're suffering back-to-back defeats. It wasn't looking good. I figured, he was going to run into a couple punches. There was a couple instances where Bukauskas did catch him coming in, but Bukauskas just wasn't sitting down on his punches, man. And, I thought the body and the awkwardness of Krillov was just a little too good for Bukauskas, and it was kind of awkward for him to lay on those shots. But at the end of the day, Krillov looked absolutely amazing. Way to hold down his number 13 ranked position in this light heavyweight division. Excited to see what's next for him. And so far, as we move on to the next card, to the next fight, it's been absolutely ridiculous. All stoppages. That was about to go to decision, and it probably should have had, but it looked like in the last 10 seconds, Krillov and Bukowskis were just like, come on, like we're going for it, you know. So the last 10 seconds, let's put on a good fight. There was times where we're getting booed, and Krillov caught him, finished it off with 3 seconds. You had the first fight, Ty Miller get a first round KO. Are you kidding me? Josh Hokit, first round KO. And Alex Perez, first round KO against Charles Johnson. What the hell is going on? So far, even though UFC 324 had a bunch of controversy, a bunch of fights canceled, missing weights, Alex Perez is one of the fighters. So far, so good. Let's move on. Wow, who expected that fight to go to decision between Ateba Gutierrez and Andre Pulev? If you did, DM me and goddamn you're a wizard, because that's the last fight out of this whole 11 fight card that I would have thought went to decision. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, my friends. Gutierrez, he's only 23 years old, had a lot of hype behind him, was a huge favorite coming into this fight, is a big, big man, has ridiculous power for this middleweight division, can put anybody out, but wasn't able to put out Andre Pulev today as he won the fight by decision. Now, the reason why he wasn't able to KO him is the blueprint was just written by Andre Pulev. It was the distance management, the footwork that was allowing him to not let a power puncher who has to set his feet before letting off those powerful hooks in somebody like Gutierrez. Gutierrez could not find him. He couldn't find his distance. He was trying to catch him with the 1-2 left hook. Yes, he dropped him with the first goddamn punch that started the fight in the first round. Literally, the first right hand, boom, drops him. Pulev was able to withstand it, started using the distance, even though Gutierrez still won every round. I felt like Pulev just wrote the blueprint on how to beat this guy. I think Gutierrez really needs to work on cutting off the ring, needs to work on his footwork a little bit better, not just, you know, taking steps moving forward. You've seen how that the third round ended. No pressure. Didn't really look like he wanted to knock out Andre. If he faced somebody in the top 15 rankings, Andre's not even ranked, right? He's only fought 3 times in the UFC. Is not considered high level when it comes to the UFC. If he fought somebody like Michael Venom Page, who fights on the outside, just like how Andre does, but has blistering hand speed, ridiculous explosion, could definitely jab his way to a victory against Gutierrez. Somebody like Robert Whittaker, if he could use his footwork. I would say even somebody like Nasruddin Hemabov, maybe even Cal Borrello, because of the footwork. That is the main issue of Ateba Gutierrez. Now, at the end of the day, he got it done. It was the first time that he went to decision or even seen the third round since 2022. He was on an 8-fight KO win streak. That comes to an end, but the record stays intact, my friends. 10-1 is looking pretty good on a 9-fight win streak. Let's move on to the next fight. I believe it's the last prelim of the card before the main card starts, in Umar Nurmagomedov and Davidson Figueiredo. Let's go, man. Well, the Davidson Figueiredo and Umar Nurmagomedov, the last prelim of the UFC 324 card heading into the main event, just took place, my people, and we just had 2 back-to-back decisions, and I expected it from Umar. I didn't expect it from Gutierrez, but I expected this from Davidson Figueiredo. He's 38 years old. He's past his prime. He's in a division where, honestly, he shouldn't really be in it. He's a former 2-time flyweight world champion who decided to move up to the bantamweight division. And somebody like Umar Nurmagomedov, who's ranked number 2 in this bantamweight rankings, who is fighting for that position to fight against Peter Yan next, proved to the company why he deserves it next. It was a pretty lackluster performance, man. The first round, yes, I thought he won every round, but I thought he looked a little just unambitious to really put the pressure, to really go in there and prove a point. I thought he was being a little scared in the first round. Seriously, Umar Nurmagomedov. In the third round, the goddamn fans were booing. Do you really think you earned yourself a title shot next, or even runner-up. No. Depending on how the Suga Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong fight goes tonight, and we already heard the breaking news, Peter Yan talking about how he heard rumors him and Merab are going to be at the UFC White House. Merab's going to be able to get an automatic title shot once again. I don't think you're anywhere near a title shot, and you're definitely behind Suga Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong, the winner out of that fight. That's about to go down soon, my people. As, of course, this is the reaction. We're doing it during the reaction. UFC 224, I can't wait for the main event. I really don't think Umar Nurmagomedov did enough to put himself, to earn himself a next title shot against Peter Yan, or if it's Merab Dvalishvili. That's just my honest opinion, my friends. He got it done by decision, back-to-back decisions after coming off 4 straight knockouts. It was a good prelims. Let's go ahead and see how this main event goes, my people. I'm ready.